The PTR is live! Yeah. Hey all, Eatmopie, and the PTR is live and available for testing for anybody who does not have a beta active account. It's patch 5.0.4. It's the precursor to Mists of Pandaria. So all the new things are in it, the new talent system, the account-wide achievements and pets and mounts, all the good stuff except for Pandaria and Pandaren and monks. But anyway, if you don't have beta access, go test it out. The main reason this is such a big deal, this is so exciting, is because this signifies the end of the testing. It's the beginning of the end. And what I mean by that is Blizzard is going to have to give us a release date relatively soon, probably in the next couple of weeks. And then we're looking at maybe a month, maybe 2 months at the most before we actually have Mists of Pandaria released. And that is exciting. I am very excited. And yeah, that brings me to the big question of the day, the question of the video. What race is your monk going to be when Mists of Pandaria finally releases? When you first log in, what race? Now, for me, this was an easy question at the beginning of the beta. I was going to be a Pandaren monk, without a doubt, 100%, and now I'm not so sure. So, what do you think? Leave a comment. Let me know what race you're going to be, why you're going to be it. So I'm going to go over my thought process as far as choosing my race. And first of all, I'm only going through the alliance races because my guild currently is a 25-man raiding guild, and they are alliance. So my very first level 90 is going to be an alliance monk. I'm just not sure what race yet. Now, Pandaren, as you saw, and I have several clips of footage here in the background that you can watch. Pandaren are amazing. They have great racials. The animations are just outstanding. The only thing that I dislike, and I added a little clip of it, was the Pandaren running. You can see his belly jiggling, and that just drives me nuts. It's the only negative to the entire race. And I know it sounds dumb, but that's one of those things that just annoys me, and I'm weird like that, and it puts them way at the bottom of the list of races that I'm going to choose, even though they're so amazing. Now the next thought was a gnome, and because gnomes are awesome. They have good racials. They're small, so they're good for PvP because it's harder to click on until they're up close and you can just tab. Also, how cool is it to be a little tiny gnome and be, flip kicking Taurens in the face or raid bosses? So that was a thing. Now the downfall of the gnome is they're short. So a lot of things are line of sighted. Going upstairs, you get stuck all the time. And it's been that way since forever. And little things like that they bother me, and I'm sure it bothers some other people too. Anybody that's played a gnome for an extended period of time, like myself, has had to deal with that. Not being able to charge something because it was 3 inches off the ground and you were out of line of sight. But anyway, moving on. Okay, let's talk Draenei. Draenei are the big, ugly class of the Alliance. And they have a great racial that heal over time. At the beginning of beta, Draenei had some serious animation issues with the monk class. Their knees looked like they were buckled and broken and just all misshapen. And it was horrible, but since then, Blizzard has fixed it and updated it, and now their animations actually look very good. And they are one of the top runners because being a bigger, thicker fighting class is appealing. So, like I said, I'm not sure. I'm undecided still. Let's keep moving on. Okay, Night Elves. Night Elves are great. I currently play a Night Elf as a main. They're a little bit lanky and thin for a monk, for the monk animations. They look a little straggly, but they're still awesome. They have Shadow Meld, which is great. It's great for PvP and PvE. It's basically a passive vanish or a racial vanish, and it even works for raids. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've shadow melted and been able to mass res the entire group, you know, in a progression wipe. But so that's a thought. That's something to think about. And that brings us to dwarves, the greatest race in all of World of Warcraft. You can't dispute it. It's not possible. They have big fluffy beards. They ride on rams, and they drink lots of booze. What more could you say? The one drawback, though, is their racial is stone form, and as a monk, you have glyph of stone form, which guess what that does? The exact same as the racial. That's right. And yeah, so other than looking great in their armor, you know, there's really no other positives to being a dwarf. And that brings us to humans. I don't know if I can bring myself to play a human. I just don't know if I can. But humans are the #1 choice. As far as if you're being logical, they are the best race. They have the best racial with every man for themselves. They have plus reputation, which is amazingly good for a new expansion and all these new reputations. It's much less work you'll have to do than everybody else. And plus they have plus expertise to swords and maces, which are going to be some of your main weapons and one of your most important stats in endgame. It's hard to dispute playing the human, other than the fact that you have to play a human and live with that decision. But anyway, let me know what you think. And as an added bonus, I threw in a little clip of me farming Black Prince Rep. This is the second quest in the line of getting your legendary. So this is how you do it really, really quickly in about 3 or 4 pulls of this size. Thanks for watching. This is Eatmopie, and I'll see ya.